Hey guys, Spanish here. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how to beat controller players in Fortnite. So if you're interested, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's get right into the video. The first tip I can give you when it comes to being controller players is not having tunnel vision. What I mean by this is being so focused on a task in Fortnite that you're completely oblivious to everything else going on around you and all the other players on the map. One example of this would be if you laser somebody and you start hard pushing them and trying to break in their box. You shouldn't just be out in the open for everyone to see trying to break in their box, leaving wide open areas for people to just shoot at you, because then you have no reason to complain. Other times you might get hard focused for having tunnel vision is if you're looting chests out in the open when you could be blocking yourself off and or loot drops, which applies the same way. And also one area of the game where I see people kind of dozing off the most and having a really hard tunnel vision is when they're just farming mats and making rotations, especially in pubs and arenas where they're getting bored because there's no fights going on. So make sure next time you're in one of these situations to not have tunnel vision, and make sure to cover your blind spots and to always make sure you're aware of where other players may be peeking from. The next tip I can give you when it comes to countering controller players is never, and I mean never, limiting yourself to one box after you get lasered. That's like being a magician and having to hide a coin from somebody and you only have one cup to put it in. Of course they're going to look under the one cup. So you shouldn't expect any different when you get lasered and you just sit in one box of heal and somebody comes running in with their SMG just spraying through your box and lasering you. Some alternatives to this is you can make more than one box. You can make a second box, leave the wall edit open, and then reset the old wall so that you're in the first box and they're busy trying to spray through the first box, and while they're busy spraying that box, you could laser them while they're in that box cluelessly spraying in, and or you could have more time to get heals off and then reset the fight. Another thing you can do is setting up in your box a ramp and opening up the top. If they seem like an oblivious player, you can open up the top floor and ramp, or I mean cone and flat, and you can laser the person running at you if they seem like they're just running at the open, out in the open blindly and not placing any builds to protect themselves or shooting back whatsoever. And lastly, the last tip I can give you when it comes to being controller players, and honestly this might be the most underrated tip in Fortnite, is to hit your headshot snipes. Hitting your headshot snipes is easily the most effective way of killing not only controller players, but any sweaty players that feels like you have no chance of beating. And it's a very underrated tip because once you shoot that shot and it hits them in the head, there's absolutely nothing they can do, and they don't even have a chance to fight back or react unless they react to the sound of the shot. Like within 0.01 milliseconds, that shot's going to connect to their head and there's absolutely nothing they can do. If you found this advice for beating controller players useful, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.